Seth Cullins, what's going on? Duran, Melinda Adams, how you doing? Just Key, hey, how you doing? Jose Gomez, Lionel Clemens, hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it. He says Happy Father's Day. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Seth Cullins. Seth Cullins says, I think he said, well, he says, how all is well, but how all is well. Happy early Father's Day. Thank you. I appreciate it. Make sure I didn't skip anybody. I did say Jose Gomez. He says, white girls are something, he says. Kong, what's going on, man? Carlos Salazano, hey, how you doing, man? Baker Honcho. Seth Collins, let me start from the top again, just in case I missed anybody. Duran, Melinda Adams, Just Key, Jose Gomez, Lionel Clemens, The Truth, Seth Cullins, how you doing? Kevin Foley, what's up with it, man? Kenneth Robinson from Wilmington, Delaware, what's going on, man? Big Kenny, a.k.a. Radio, The Black Lebowski, The Struggle, hey, how you doing? Master Divine, Allah, Kevin Foley. Shout out from Boston. I appreciate it. Seth says, hope all is well. Thank you, Seth. Everything is going good, man. Herschel Adams, that's a new name I don't quite recognize. Hey, thank you, Herschel, for sliding through, man. How are you doing, Chill? Happy Father's Day. Oh, I'm doing all right, man. Can't complain, man. James B, a.k.a. Bama. What it do, Chill? Oh, I'm just chilling, man. How you doing, James? Carlos Solorzano. Bust out a good Fox story, bro. Kevin Foley. Big Sabotage. That's a new one. Hey, how you doing, Damu? What's going on, man? Hopefully we still can get that interview in, man. Kevin Foley. Matter of fact, yeah, man. Damu, my apologies and my bad, man. I definitely have been meaning to get at you, man. I see your number in my notebook, man. I just been ripping and running, procrastinating. I've been working on some new music. Dang, 53 people in here, man. That's a lot for me, for me just being extremely inconsistent, man. But I got a performance coming up at a club in Bannon, man. It's called the Finesse Lounge. It's gonna be on July the 8th, man. And hopefully I'm gonna premiere some new music. We're gonna go in there and do some performances. Some other people gonna come through and perform. So definitely it's gonna be lit, man. July the 8th. At a club called the Finesse Lounge in Bannon. Sabrina 7 said, what up, though? Hey, what's going on, Sabrina? I don't know if you know or not, but that used to be the little phrase back in the 80s when we was out there on the block hustling. What up, though? What up, though? So yeah, you just took me back with that one, man. Coos Bay Greg, what's going on, man? How you doing, Greg? Coos Bay Greg is a childhood friend who I grew up with, man. So hopefully everything is going well with you and your family, Greg, and happy Father's Day to you and all the fathers that's on here as well. It says somebody's help someone. It says somebody's message is held for review. I don't know who they talking about. I don't want to get to pressing buttons and mess around and cut the live off, man. Jaffe Joe, what's going on? Anthony Jersey in the building, man. Glad you're doing lives. Yeah. Now, yeah, Joe, I need to try to start being more regular, man. Life been a little bit hectic for me lately, man. I'm trying to work out 2 times a day and hit the studio and also, of course, do the story. So I just been ripping and running, man. I've been ripping and running. I don't know if some of you guys have been on my page for a long, long time, man. And remember, I did a story. It was called something about, I forget the name of the titles, but something about when you're getting ready to get stabbed in prison, you the last one to know it. And GTM, what's going on, man? GTM, I'm definitely gonna slide in with you soon too and knock out that interview. But I was telling you guys in that first story how when I got to the yard and I told this dude by the name of C. Looney from Venice Shoreline that I had life, and he said, oh, you guys are gonna be here forever with me. So I just heard that he's out, so I'm gonna try to get a hold of him and do an interview with him. Also, I had a good friend. I told a story. It was called Poker Game Leads to Lefts and Rights, about how this dude that fired on my homeboy, he's out. He's been out for about 2 or 3 months, so I'm gonna definitely interview with him, man. Don Carlos says, let me hear a quick Bakersfield story or Bakersfield slash IE story. Oh, Don Carlos, yeah, I don't know if at one point in time, the Bakersfield and IE, they used to have a car that rode together. It was called the I-5. The I, of course, for the IE, and the 5 for the 805. And the only time I'd ever done that, we ever done the I-5, when I was locked up, I was in Ironwood on Sea Yard. And it was a few dudes over there, man. It was a dude by the name of Bull. I forget where Bull was from. He ended up rolling up, though. Didn't want to get disciplined. He rolled up. Bull was over there. It was a dude by the name of Bus, a dude by the name of Half Breed. Somebody told me later on he ended up passing away. I don't know how true that is, though. It was a few dudes over there, man. It was a few dudes over there. It was a dude by the name of Blackie Jack from Bakersfield. I was on AR with him. Actually, I had a celly, too, from Bakersfield by the name of Booney. And if my memory is correct, Booney's father owned like a restaurant out there in Bakersfield. I think it was called Mr. Tibbs Ribs. And yeah, Booney was real cool, man. Somebody told me he recently got shot maybe about a year and a half ago, so and passed away, man. So rest in peace to Booney too, man. James B, what's going on, man? From Denver. Travis Thomas Sr., just tell me what I owe you. Gold City. Hey, yeah, I got to hit you guys with another Fox story pretty soon, too. What up, Chill from Shreveport, Louisiana. Seth Cullins says, Happy Father's Day to all the dads in the chat as well. Hey, thank you, Seth. Chris C, he says, you think Boosie about to get a lot of time, man. I haven't been keeping up with that, but I seen a little bit of it where I guess he had one of his jail cases. He beat it. They dismissed it in San Diego, and then the feds picked him up. And yeah, man, I think they're gonna give him a lot of time, man, for two reasons. The feds don't play, even though I've never been to the federal prison. They don't play, man. And also his reputation, him going to jail before, all that type of stuff is definitely gonna make it hard on him, So yeah, definitely it ain't looking too good for old Bootsy, man. And I think from what I heard, the reason the feds picked him up with that gun is because they had seen him online, because of course he's an ex-felon. They had seen him online holding a gun or something like that. And so if that is the case, man, he definitely got to be smarter than that. I told a story one time. I was in Montana, actually. It was a dude by the name of Robert. Robert was the cousin of a pimp by the name of Rufus. And Robert had bought Rufus down basically for muscle, And so Robert was a dope fiend, told me he had been in and out of jail. Basically, the last, I forget the number now, last 20, 30 years, he stayed in jail all the time, basically. He'd get out, go back in 2 months, get out, go back in, 2 or 3 months, all the time. And so Robert ended up, matter of fact, the name of the story, was that the name of the story? If I don't kill him, God's a punk. So one day we chilling in the arcade bar. Robert and this other dude named Wayne from Montana, they had stole a swamp cooler or something like that. And I guess they were supposed to split the proceeds to go get high. Wayne ended up running off with the money, or at least that's what Robert thought. So Robert come in the door huffing and puffing because Robert want to get high. They was out there shooting dope. Robert said, man, asking, had anybody seen Wayne or whatever. Wayne was a big, tall Indian dude, man. I would say Wayne was probably about 6'5", probably 215, 220 pounds. And that's when he was getting high. I seen him get out of the pen one time. He probably came home 270, 280, big old dude. So anyway, Robert says, and I said this in the video, this was way back before everybody was putting stuff on God and saying God this, God that. You didn't take God's name in vain, or at least that's how I was raised. But Robert said, man, when I see Wayne, if I don't kill him, God's a punk. And I'm thinking like, whoa, that's some cold stuff this dude just said right there. And as luck would have it, man, I mean, it was like a movie. Maybe in about 2-3 minutes, somebody said, hey, man, Wayne just pulled up outside right now. Now, we're in the arcade bar. If you guys heard me tell stories about the arcade bar has a big old giant wooden door. So when somebody said, hey, Wayne is outside now, Robert reached into his waistband and pulled out a 38, a black 38. I seen the handle. Took off running toward the door. He kicked the door. Boom! The door bust open. He went outside. When he opened the door, Wayne had parked right in front of the bar at the curb. And I seen Robert hold a gun and start shooting. Boom, boom. Once he like shot once or twice, I turned. I said, "Damn!" You know, he's shooting the dude. The dude is sitting in the car, man. He's shooting at the dude right there. Now, after he emptied the clip, which was 5 or 6 shots or whatever the revolver carried, he took off running across the street. He happened to live in the same apartment building that Fox lived in, which might have been 200 or 300 yards across the street. Unfortunately for Robert, the police was sitting across the street in the parking lot, and they saw everything. So they ran over there, got him. Long story short, Wayne kept it solid. Wayne got hit 2 or 3 times. Wayne didn't testify. He said, you know, he couldn't see nothing or whatever. But the whole reason that I'm telling this story is in relation to Boosie, because even though he beat the state case, Wayne wouldn't testify. The feds picked that case up in Montana. And I think he ended up getting something like 16 years or somewhere up in there, you know, just with an ex-felon with a gun. You know, Wayne wasn't testifying, so I don't think they got him for the attempted murder, but they still got him with ex-felon for a gun. So yeah, the feds don't play, man. Black Moon, what's up with it though? He said, a flow is nothing like Curtis Blow. Yeah, I've been working on some new music. I definitely have been procrastinating, man. I need to get that intro song out. I sent the song to this dude in Florida that I met to mix and master the song, and now this dude then disappeared. But I still could have went somewhere else and got it mixed and remastered. I just talked to a dude the other day about that. And so, yeah, I definitely been procrastinating on the music. And but I'm going to be premiering some new songs like I was telling everybody. Performing at a club in Banning called the Finesse Lounge. It's going to be July 8th. That's 144 West Ramsey Street, Banning, California, man. It's going to be $10 to get in. Or I believe it's going to be, might be $10 to get in, pre-sale, $5. It might be 10. It might be $5 pre-sale, 10 at the door. I got to get all the exact particulars, but it's definitely going to be up, man. Like I say, I hope to get up in there, knock some new music out. Give y'all some new music and probably, hopefully, and pretty soon after drop a mixtape or just a regular tape, a regular CD, excuse me, or some music. Kevin Foley said that was from Everybody Wants to Be a Comedian. Maybe it was your daughter. That was a funny though. Oh yeah, that was my granddaughter. Retro Science 1. That's a new name. He said lefts and right. Oh, lefts and rights from the East Coast. Hey, what's going on, man? C. Will, what's up with it? Bunker. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it, man. Robert Chambliss. What's going on, man? Hey, listen, y'all. We got one of my partners in the house, man. Ghost. Ghost is originally from Chicago. Is originally from Chicago. But I met Ghost in Billings, Montana. Now, y'all won't believe this now. My boy Fox, he shot Ghost. I'm trying to get Ghost to come on and tell us a story, man. Ghost has been reluctant. Ghost was also, a well-known person in Billings, Montana, shall I say, and a little reluctant to come on here and talk about that story and stuff. So, yeah, man, Ghost, you need to come on here. Hey, man, why don't everybody in the live, man, tell Ghost how much y'all want to hear that story about Fox, man. Ghost got into it with Fox, and Fox ended up shooting Ghost, and Ghost beat him up and all that old type of stuff, man. I wasn't there when all that happened, so I can't get a story. But let's try to tell Ghost, man. We really need that story, man. Ghost, give me an interview, man. My boy Ghost, real good friend of mine, man. Young Tiny, what's up with it? Hey, and then I can't see so many. I don't know why I can't see normally. Hey, look. I got 102 people in the chat, man, and I really thank you guys for sliding through because, like I said, I've been extremely negligent in chatting on a regular. And once again, my apologies to you, Damu Robinson. And running, we definitely gonna get that interview out, man, because you got an extremely interesting interview. I've been thumbing through my notebooks trying to find the notes that I took, man. I know I took some really good notes, man. You had sat down with me and gave me some good information, and I didn't mess around and lost them suckers, man. Somewhere I gotta find them though, man. But Ghost, we need that Fox story, Ghost. Kevin Foley said that was from Everyone Want to Be a yeah, that was okay. I read that already. And then, also Ghost told me he's hanging out with some good friends of mine and my cousin out there in Montana, Stacy. So hello, Stacy. Hello, Connie. Hope you guys is having a nice day out there. CDC Survivor, what's going on? Hey, what's going on, CDC Survivor? What's up with you, man? I just got a text from Stacy, my cousin Stacy. They say her She said she, Ghost, and Connie is sitting there listening to some of my stories. Ghost, if you guys listen, be sure. Did you guys ever check out the story, the one I did about Larry Foster, about who wants to fight the fat man? If you guys get a chance, look that up, man. That was at night. I don't know if you was there, Ghost, when Larry got drunk and Larry got drunk and came down there and cleaned house in the bar trying to fight everybody, man. He was knocking fools out left and right, man. So if y'all ain't check that story out, check that story out, man. It's called Who Wants to Fight the Fat Man? That was a real funny story, man. Somebody else messages held for review. I don't know who that is, man. Big Sabotage. He says, hey bro, I on your music, it go hard. Keep doing your stuff. I'm from California. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it, man. Like I said, I've been procrastinating, but I'ma definitely hop back on my music. Rithvik says, dang, I feel like I've heard that story. Yeah, you may have heard that story. I put it up on the on my YouTube page, so more than likely you probably checked it out. Rithvik said, you've had a lot of stories kind of like that. Are you talking about my Montana stories? Yeah, I put up a few, man. Yeah, Damu, they say C. Looney is out, man. One of my, matter of fact, my other partner from Bakersfield, man, Dewey, I keep trying to get him to come on here and do a story. He camera shy, man. Dewey was locked up for about 28, 30 years, somewhere around there. Actually, I don't know if you guys caught the interview that I did with the young lady who worked at CDC. Dewey is her brother. Remember she mentioned a brother that had done a bunch of time? That's my partner, Dewey, man. Yeah, Young Tiny, I gotta get at Melly and see what's cracking. He just posted it on his Facebook not too long ago. That we gonna do an interview. So I'm just waiting on him. He's driving truck, so I guess whenever he slides through this area, we'll definitely try to get it. We'll definitely try to get it in progress. Joe Jennifer, how you doing, man? What's up? Hey, I knew you was gonna be on my head about this music, man. I have started. I'm working on some music, like I've been telling everybody. I'm gonna be performing at a club in Bannon. It's called the Finesse Lounge, and somebody just hit me with a $5. It's crazy, man. It's been so long since I've done a damn a live. I forget what they called, man. A $5 super chat. Yeah, so thank you, man. I appreciate it. I can't see right now who it is because I made the screen real big. I lost my reading glasses, so I had to make the screen, the words real big before I went live. So that's probably why I can only see so much right now. So I don't want to hit the. I don't want to hit. Let me see so I can. Oh, okay, Black Moon. So yeah, Black Moon. Hey, Black Moon. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it, man. It's much appreciated. And also, I'm trying to remember the name. I can't quite remember the name. I'll have to look on here and see. But it was somebody had sent me $50 a month or two ago as a basically a congratulations for getting 60,000 subscribers or 50,000 subscribers or whatever it was, and I definitely wanted to give her a shout out on here. So I have to remember that the next time, man. Rithvik says, so rolling up means changing the tire. No, rolling up means you're at the prison, you're on a prison yard, and you fear for your life, and you tell the guards, I got to get up out of here. And so it's a basically a very dishonorable way to leave the yard in the eyes of the convicts. You go complain to the police, basically. Johnny Walker, a lot of lifers at Ironwood, yeah. Don Carlos said, Booney, yep, he died. Yeah, that was my celly, man. Booney was a good dude, man. And it, well, I mean, I was going to say it was surprising to hear that, right? Because Booney was laid back. But then, of course, I'm going to say, everybody is in prison for something. And so, just because a person is laid back and cool, we all get into it from time to time. But yeah, Booney was a good dude, man. And it's crazy, right? Because Booney had told me his father owned the Mr. Tibbs Rib. So maybe about, I don't know, 3 or 4 years after that, maybe somewhere, I was watching a Montel Williams show, and it was some girls on there kind of like arguing with somebody about something, and basically their father was deep sea fishing, and a big old whale or something jumped up in his boat and killed him and drowned him. And come to find out, that was Booney's father that passed away. So yeah, that was unfortunate and sad to hear. And I guess they was kind of like I guess trying to figure out who was going to get his property and stuff that he had left or something like that. And I can't remember if the sisters was arguing with each other. I think they may have been arguing with an ex-wife or something like that. But it was like I say, I'm watching the Montel Williams show, and then one of them happened to mention, Mr. Tibbs Ribs. Their father owned that, and so that was just shocking to hear as well. There's signed Tiffany. Hey, how you doing, Tiffany? Tiffany, how is your YouTube channel going? Rithvik said, have I been peeping out the YN Melly trial on I guess the Law and Order Network? No, I haven't. It's crazy. I watch very, very, very little TV. Even basketball is my favorite sport. I've been out probably about 5 years. I've probably done seen 3 basketball games in the whole time that I've been out. So, yeah. Hey, Black Moon, that's what it was. He talking about Black Moon said, you ain't messing with God, is you? Yeah, that's what Larry Foster said when he ran up on me, because I had been kind of like bullying his son a little bit. I thought I was going to have to pop old Larry. Yeah, help someone said, did you ever go to San Quentin or Pelican Bay? No, I never hit those joints. Tehachapi, Salinas Valley, Ironwood, Chuckawalla, CMC, North Kern, CMC West, and I made like a quick stopover. I made a stopover in Chino. That doesn't count though. A layover in Chino and a layover I think in Corcoran. But yeah, those don't really count. He say Boosie stay in the mix. He got to. Yeah, Boosie, man, Boosie shit. He might be out of the mix now, man. So yeah, and then so GTM says the federal prosecutors have a conviction rate of 99.6. Yeah, the feds don't play, man. Of course, they got all this type of technology where if he did have a gun, I'm assuming, they didn't enlarge the picture, check out the serial numbers and all that, man. So I think I seen something where Boosie was trying to sell one of his Rolls Royces or something, So I don't know if he needs some bread for his lawyer or whatever, but it might not be too good for him, man. Okay, Big Homie 242, he says felon with a pistol. Basically, federal enhancements get real, at least 7 years. Yeah. And then see, the cold thing about the feds sometimes is they have mandatory minimums, which is basically if you get caught doing something and it falls up under the mandatory minimum statutory or statute, even if the judge only wants to give you maybe 2 years, if that crime comes with a mandatory minimum, he is obligated to give you that whatever that minimum sentence is. So if the minimum sentence is 15 years and he wants to give you 2, he can't give you 2. He's bound by the federal laws. So that's the horrible part about that. Oh, now look at here, y'all. We coming through with a $20 super chat, man. Let me tap in and see who this is, man. I appreciate it, man. Okay, Clayton Martin. And actually, he says, keep up the good content, 16. Clayton Martin, that's a new name that I'm unfamiliar with, So, hey, thank you, Clayton. I definitely appreciate it, man, because like I said, I've been extremely negligent in being consistent with my going live. And actually, I just got lucky. I was supposed to be going out of town to go to this little soul food joint, and I end up not going. So I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and get this live in, because I was gonna do the live yesterday, and real soon, I'm gonna interview the prison guard that I interviewed last time. I'm talking about the black dude who was from Folsom, Daryl King. I'm gonna interview Daryl King, and it's gonna be another real good interview. He had so much good information, we couldn't all get it in one interview. He used to be the gang investigator for the prison. So I'm talking the BGFs, the MA, the NFs, the P9. That's a white supremacist gang, if you guys don't know, the Aryan brothers. This dude knew all the top dudes, that was his job to, learn the information about these dudes. He got a lot of good information coming to me, and so we're gonna definitely gonna have a good interview, man. And once again, thank you, Clayton Martin, for that $20 super chat, man. I would like to say that's probably the biggest super chat I done got in an extremely long time, man. So I definitely appreciate it, man. Clayton Martin, man, I appreciate it. Thank you for your support. Just watching my videos as well. And just to just just to reiterate it once again, sometimes people complain a little bit about my the commercials during my stories, but for those who may not know, um, the commercials are how we get paid. So hopefully you guys will be able to watch those. I believe I don't, and YouTube is not extremely forthcoming on the exact amount of time, but I think just probably the you might have to watch, I don't know, the first 10-15 seconds of it or something like that. So if you could do that, that would be deeply appreciated, man. I don't know if you guys have even noticed or paid attention to, I'm really not stuttering that much, right? And before I went to prison, I never stuttered. I don't know what the hell that was, man. I developed a stutter. I think it was because when I called home trying to talk, you only get 15 minutes, and trying to talk to so many people, I just got in the habit of trying to talk extremely fast or whatever. I don't know what that was. And then maybe in the last 2 or 3 years, I noticed that if I had something to say to staff or to a guard or something, I would start to stutter. So I don't know what the hell that was, and it was really irritating, right? But I think that the more I started just talking and doing my YouTube, it started going away. So hopefully I'm really appreciative of that too. I don't know where the hell that happened at, man. But Smith says that one pimp in Montana help. Oh, he talking about help me out, Jones. Jones, help me, Jones. They trying to kill me, Jones. You talking about Scary Curl? And I told a story one time too about Fox. Fox had jumped on Scary Curl. It was Fox and a pimp by the name of T-Baby. I originally thought T-Baby was from Seattle, but somebody left a comment on my page maybe about a year ago, said T-Baby was from Tacoma, but T-Baby was a pimp. And Scary Curl is what the girl started calling him. His name was Jeffrey. He owed Fox some money. And he continued to come in there and buy dope and not pay Fox. So eventually Fox got mad. They went over there and it was Fox, his girlfriend Jeannie, and T-Baby. And they was trying to basically manhandle Scary Curl and go in his pockets and take his money, and he was flailing all over the place. And Fox wasn't a big guy, and matter of fact, he told Jeannie, give me that there bottle. So Jeannie grabbed the bottle, and every time Jeannie would try to hand Fox the bottle, Scary Curl was slapping the bottle down. So he finally said, hit him over the head with it. Now hit him over the head with it. She grabbed the bottle and clink, but she was hitting like a girl. It wasn't doing much damage. But yeah, that was extremely funny too, man. We got Joe Jennifer, a real loyal fan of my music, man. He quoting my lyrics up in here, man. I'm masked up on the east side in that G-Ride Chevy, no ignition. Brown gloves with the pole, but I ain't going fishing. Yeah, hey Joe, I definitely got to get back on it, man. And to be honest, I was working on this song today in the car, man, and it's a banger, man. It's a banger. I'ma probably call it I'd rather be a square, and it's a definite banger, man. It's a definite banger. And to be honest too, Joe, people like you actually keep me motivated to continue to make music, man. And I was telling myself a couple days ago, I said, I better hurry up and start making more music consistently because I ain't getting no younger. I was talking to my buddy about putting some music on TuneCore and stuff, because that streaming is a ripoff. When an artist puts money on a streaming site, for each song that's downloaded, we receive 9/10 of a penny. So if you're not signed to no major music contract, you basically giving away your money. You probably have to your music. You would probably have to get 2 or 3 million sales just to make $1,000 off there. So but TuneCore, I believe they can purchase it for like $199 or $250 or whatever we set the price. So I'm still kind of new to all this new technology in terms of the music, but I'm going to get it together, man. Shauna Inc. says, you are the best storyteller. Thanks for doing this. Gets me through a lot. Thanks, Shauna. I appreciate it. You know what? And I see you all the time in the comments, and I appreciate your support and everybody's support. And it's like I say, for me, it's just, you guys don't understand. It's just kind of crazy, man. Like I said, 5-6 years ago at this time, I never thought I was even gonna come home. And so to be home and have people actually interested in what I have to say, it's just, it's amazing, and it's real nice. It's real nice. I never thought something like this could happen, and just basically just talking and telling my stories and stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely appreciate it. Plus, originally, one of my good cousins, my first cousin, good friend, like a brother of mine, when I started doing my stories early, he said Chill, you're a horrible you're a horrible storyteller. So I always rub that in his face. But he, like I say, he's been a strong supporter of my stories, and gave me $5,000 when I came home. And so definitely a good cousin, but he told me I was a horrible storyteller. Big homie 242, he says, love and respect from DC. I appreciate it, man. Rich Vic, your content be getting me through my days. Really appreciate this live, chill on everything, OGA. Thank you. I appreciate everybody for coming through. Honestly, I thought that I might have 20, 25, people in my live, because I'm not consistent with it. So I'm definitely appreciative of everybody coming through. Don Carlos says, hey, Chill, did Bull walk with his head up? I kind of think he did. It's been so long, and he might have been 6 feet. I don't think 6'1", but yeah, he dark skinned dude, kind of thin. At the time he was young. I heard he got out and went and caught a murder and came back with life. Had braids in his hair, kind of wild, kind of reckless and stuff. But yeah, he may have walked like that. He may have walked like that, man. And so what happened with Bull, like I said, at that time we was doing the I-5, the Inland Empire and the Bakersfield as a collective, and we had about 30 homies on the yard, and we had Bull. It was Bull, and we had another homie by the name of Cisco. Cisco was from San Bernardino, from a neighborhood they called Disneyland. And Cisco and Bull continued to get in trouble. Now, keep in mind, too, that Chances is on the line. Chances is I'm sure you guys have seen some of my stories about Chances. Chances is a line pusher, no games, right? And so we had a meeting or two talking about dudes continually messing up, getting in trouble, and potentially bringing problems to the car, right? And so we had that meeting. I think Cisco ended up getting into a fight like the day after we had the first meeting. So we had another meeting to make sure everybody was clear on what happened. Maybe a day or two later, and Cisco and Bull was both in the gym, which is like it was like dorm living. Even though it was a level 3 yard, they had a gym. And so Cisco and Bull ended up doing something else like a day or two later. So when Cisco come to the yard, boom! Chances immediately knock him out, put him to bed, have him sleep on the grass. So when Bull heard this, the dudes was out there putting out demos, and he knew he was next. Bull went and rolled up, man. I forget where Bull was from, though. Countdown from GSPN. You guys, give me 1 second. I don't know if you guys seen my little my little short about Cash. I had to lock Cash up. Cash is outside crying and barking like a baby. Let me go let him in. All right, we back. Countdown from GSPN podcast. Okay. Love from Duval, Florida, bro. Been riding with you, bro. Keeping it going. Don't slack on those yard downs. They're necessary. Nomad, Chill be narrating his ass off. Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. That intro, where you name all the organizations, is lit. And I'm gonna definitely drop that song pretty soon, man. I'm gonna shoot a video to it, drop it. The name of that song is Still Stepping. Once again, I've been procrastinating on that, the story of my life. Mike Mook is on my Helmito about it. He said we need that Still Stepping. Most definitely, man. And I didn't realize it's been 6 or 7 months since I first put it out. So yeah, you guys definitely got that coming, man. And I think I'm figuring out now. I think I'm gonna try to put it on TuneCore. Cause like I was saying earlier, that damn that Spotify, even though the Spotify is good to help with visibility and stuff, but it basically, it's a ripoff. And so um, all the money I've been spending going to the studios, I really could have bought my own studio. And when I first got out, my cousin was telling me, just to get my own studio. But by me not necessarily being technology savvy, it seemed like something that was too big for me and stuff. But now, once I'm starting to do my own editing and making my own thumbnails and stuff like that, I realize that this stuff is really not difficult. I just never had the patience. I was never into technology and stuff like that. So now that I'm starting to grasp it a little bit, I see that it's not hard at all. Prophet Mike says even Christians went to church hiding knives up in their Bible. And that's real, man. You had a lot of dudes up in there just because they was Christian don't mean they was soft, man. Matter of fact, soon I got an interview coming up with a non-affiliate, but even though he was a non-affiliate, he was a cold line pusher. And so I need to get that knocked out too, man. Nabi Ben Sadi, or Sade, excuse me, man. 850 Florida. He says, let's get 16 more likes for chill. Mike Mook, hardest intro. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. You got bars like Ironwood. Fifth Avenue Media. What's going on with you? How you doing, man? John Dean, Driller. He said, tell the story, Ghost. Yeah, Ghost, give us that story, man. Street Smart. See, look at Ghost. You got people asking for the story, man. Give us that story, man. Fox shot Ghost, man, and then Ghost busted him up, So yeah, it was a good story, man. Look, Ghost, you got another one, man. Hey, yo, Ghost, what did he owe you, man? Black Moon say, Ghost, we want to hear that story. Nomad, those Fox stories be busting my sides. Help someone, hit the like button. Duran. He said, in that Fox story needed. Come on, Ghost. Oh, okay. So I'm just getting to it now. Okay, Prophet Mike countdown from GSPN podcast. Thank you for going live, OG. I've been negligent with the working out. That reminded me of the program. The hour burpee every other day routine kind of seemed like he says like maybe lick. Yeah, I'm trying to get it in 2 times a day, man. Normally in the morning I'll get up, I'll go get me about 30-45 minutes in of hit. That's just a lot of cardio, high intensity interval training is what they call it. Then later on I'll slide to the gym and do me a little working out, a little lifting. I've never been a cat to really mess with the weight, so I'm doing a little bit of that just to try to tone up and don't get too big, man. A lot of my partners, man, that done life sentences and came home has got extremely fat, and I can't blame them, being locked up for so long. Now we out here, we got action at all this good food. Like when I first got out, I was eating a lot of it's because I'm a sweet fanatic, so I was messing a lot with Starbucks, eating them, drinking them sweet drinks and all that, and pies and cakes and Ben and Jerry's ice cream, and so it's easy to gain a whole lot of weight, man. Rick Vic says, always chill. We love you, bro. Hey, thank you. I appreciate you, and I love all you guys too, man. It's definitely like I said, nice, man. I was telling somebody the other day when I first started doing, because originally I created a YouTube page just to put my music out. I started doing the YouTube stories once the producer that I was going to caught COVID. That's how I started doing the stories on accident. And so my original goal was just to try to catch a friend of mine that had 300 subscribers, So I never imagined that I would get monetized. I had a good friend of mine, David Williams, who I grew up with. He told me, hey, man, keep going. You can get monetized. I said, oh, man, I'll never get monetized. I'll never get that many subscribers, 1,000 subscribers. And so eventually I did. And so once I got 1,000 subscribers, I didn't even try to get monetized. I just continued telling the stories. And then once I got to about 3,000, I said, well, damn, you know what? I'm telling the stories. I might as well get paid for it anyway. I had no idea how much YouTube paid, though. And that's another story I've been wanting to do. I got the thumbnail made, my first YouTube check. So I'll probably try to get that to you guys probably next week. I think you guys would be surprised, man, and I don't think my YouTube check is normal for my first one, but it's definitely something that people can do as a nice hustle, side hustle, or just a straight job. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so that's why I continue doing the damn YouTube due to the pay. So and so now I'm prioritizing the stories over the music, and that's why I've been negligent with the music. But I'm gonna definitely get on it, man. Nomad said, I be trying to imagine all that going on in Billings, Montana. Oh man, listen, that was one of the more funnest times of my life, man, out there in Montana. I think my rent probably was about $350. I lived in the matter of fact, I lived in the duplex that I had got from Ghost. Ghost stayed in the duplex first, then he ended up moving back to Chicago. So I said, hey man, you think I can rent that from the people that you rented from? It was a 3 bedroom, upstairs, downstairs, one bathroom, a half a bathroom. The downstairs was so big, humongous, man, humongous, and 350. And then my brother lived there, so we was going half, so 175. So the rent was extremely cheap. It was a nice time, man. I had a lot of fun out there, man. A lot of fun out there. Oh, Joe Jennifer says it's a joint on one of his CDs that's not on YouTube. He got some fire that's not under his gas station. Yeah, I got a few songs on there that I didn't put on there. Yeah, and that's another thing too. I remember when I first got out and I was telling people that I was selling CDs. Oh, everybody was clowning me. Oh, gee, we don't sell CDs no more. But I sold a whole lot of those CDs, man. I would like to say probably close to 400 or 500 CDs. And so, when you times that times $15 or $14, that's a nice chunk of change compared to just giving your music away free on Spotify, basically. Spotify and all that other stuff. So uh, that definitely helped, man. Somebody else says this message is held for review. I don't want to hit it and mess around and mess up and can't get back to the damn live. Countdown from GSPN. Okay. Prophet Mike. Fox stories be the funniest. I am Wall Papa. What's up, Chill? Hey, how you doing, man? Ritvik says, I love the Montana stories. They're well told. Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Black Moon. He says, yeah, Chill, we need more stories, especially before prison. Uh, you know what? I've been thinking about telling you guys a story about this house that was like 2 houses up the street from where I grew up at, man. And it seemed like everybody that lived in that house ended up getting life. And one lady, she even passed away. She passed away. She was like a year or two younger than me. She was shot at a party. She passed away. Her brother ended up getting life. The people who lived in the house after her got into a shootout with somebody else, and he's the one who ended up killing. Her name was Corey. He's the one who ended up killing Corey, the one who stayed in the house before. Well, actually, it was the boyfriend. Corey Curtis lived in the house, and then when she moved. Somebody else moved in the house, and her boyfriend ended up getting into a shootout, and he ended up killing Corey Curtis, who was the female who lived in the house before him, before the person that did the shooting. And then the person before that was my homie Biscuit. He ended up getting life. Me and him was cellies together. So I was just gonna tell you guys, I don't know if the house is haunted. And then so the dude, my homie who I grew up with, who got into a shootout, who accidentally killed the homegirl, he ended up getting maybe about, I don't know, I think 18 years that ran consecutive. Well, he done a gang of time. Then his son, which was the son of my homegirl, he ended up catching a murder, and he done about 16 years. And then their uncle ended up getting the death penalty. So it was a whole lot going on with that house. So yeah, I've been thinking about giving you guys that story. Don Carlos say, I know Dewey. Okay, yeah, that Dewey is my partner, man. Up high says, chill. How those youngsters act that are doing life at a young age. Um, no, what? It just all depends, right? Up high, because when I hit the pen, right, I was 25, and believe it or not, I was one of the younger lifers on the yard. It was a dude by the name of uh, uh, what was his name, man? From Meade Valley, Crip. His name was Crip, and I think Crip, he probably was about 18 or 19, and it was a dude from Hoover. And I'll say that because most of the time I remove these lives anyway. But it was a dude that I first caught the bus with, Stymie from Hoover. and they was about the, so we was all about the youngest on the yard, you know. But later on, 3 or 4 years later, 5, 6 years later, it seemed like dudes started coming in with life, man, extremely young. Matter of fact, I got a partner, man. He came to life. He came to prison, I think at 14, or no, he caught his case at 14, and then he got life at 16. They sent him to prison. He couldn't even buy tobacco and stuff, you know, because he wasn't 21, and so he's out now too. And so yeah, it just all depends on the, it all depends on the individual, you know. It all depends on the individual. Yeah, Fox was a cold pickpocket, man. Black Moon, hey, thank you, I appreciate it. Black Moon hit me with a $5 super chat, man. Thank you, I appreciate it, man. Fred Brown says, chill, much respect from VA. Hey, thank you, Fred. I appreciate it. I don't really remember seeing you, Fred. I'm kind of familiar with you know, with a lot of the names that come through, so I appreciate it. I don't know, Fred, if you know, I had some family out there. That's where my father was from, man. Blackstone, Virginia, a small little country town, not too far from Richmond, Virginia. So actually, I was out there when I went to visit Banky Pound. And that's been about a year and a half, 2 years ago. When I went to visit Banky Pound, down in man, I forget where Banky Pound was right now. It skips my mind, but oh, I think he was in VA. I mean what's it called? News, something news. He was in Newport Beach or something. But anyway, I slid down there to visit my dad's grave site. Ritvik says, I'm going to double that since the next live or next video. Okay, thank you, man. Chuck says, how much I owe you, Chill? Tell him what I owe you. Ritvik says, I ain't got no card on YouTube. Though I'm a crypto nerd. Yeah, that crypto is a little above my understanding, man. I've never really messed with it. I know one time when I was selling CDs and music, a dude bought a CD from me, but he just took it upon himself to pay for it in what is that in Bitcoin. He paid for it in Bitcoin, and so you know it was I still ain't never cashed it out. I was just watching it. I was just, hey, Boss Hizzle, what's going on, man? Hey, Boss Hizzle, too. My deepest apologies, man. I've been procrastinating on getting y'all that verse, man. I've been procrastinating on getting y'all that verse. I need to go ahead and get that out the way, too, man. I've been doing a lot of just procrastinating. And the cold part about it is I didn't wrote the verse. I wrote 2 verses for that song, man. It just, I just been procrastinating, man. But yeah, we'll be at the Finesse Lounge July 8th, man. We're gonna have a little picnic that day, our annual little East Side picnic. Then we'll be at the Finesse Lounge July 8th, 144 West Ramsey Street, man. Mike Mook says, how can we send money? Well, you know what? Actually, a lot of people send me a super chat. But if a person wants to send me bread, I would prefer if you guys have what is that other thing? A Cash App, because on a super chat, I forget how much YouTube takes a percentage of it. So a Cash App would definitely be better. And then also I got I think I got that PayPal, but I don't even know the information on that. Somebody at when I got those animated stories made, the dude in India, he wanted me to send him the money PayPal, so that's why I ended up getting a PayPal account, but I've never really used it much, man. Prophet Mike says the story where Fox robbed him, then bought him a drink and got some of that get right. Oh, and got some of that get right had me crying. Yeah, hey, Fox was a character, man. And man, like I told you guys, I had recorded him one day in the car with my camcorder. Man, it ended up, I don't know if my homegirl ended up, she used my camcorder to take her son to school, and she ended up erasing it, and that's the son that I was telling you guys about. Once later on, he grew up. He ended up getting, like, I think about 16 years on a murder or something like that. He lived in that house that was not too far from my mom's house, man. But if I had some of those damn Fox recordings, that would be hilarious, man. No Man says you probably imagine Fox with some old loud ass cologne. Yeah, listen, Fox really used to dress just like Fox used to dress, just like Pop from the Wayne Show. He'd have on all this plaid, these flower shirts and stuff, and Fox was hilarious, man. But Mike Mook says, "What's your cash app?" Hey, thank you, man, Mike Mook. My cash app, of course, is $. Then it's Chill 700. CHILL 700. And of course, you see the name Eric Willis. So it's $Chill CHILL 700. And it's much appreciated. Ritvik says, so you tell a CO you want to leave the cell. Well, it all depends. It all depends, right? Under what circumstance and conditions. Now they have these things that's called a cell move slip. It's like basically a compatible chrono. And so if you say, hey, yeah, I got a homie over here, man. Me and this dude, we not compatible, or I just want to move in the cell with my homie. Or some people that had brothers on the yard. Some people that had fathers on the yard. So yeah, you go get a cell move slip, you fill that out, and eventually they'll get to it, The babyface Loaster, what's up with it, man? How you doing? Prophet Mike. Intellectual Petty Radio. What's Intellectual Petty Radio? Hey, I'm doing good, man. When you guys get a chance, go check out Intellectual Petty Radio. He had some great interviews. He interviewed me about a month ago, man. And to be honest, my favorite interview. This dude was real down to earth, real funny brother, man. He reminded me of some dudes I just, I would grow up with and hang out with, man. Real relaxed, laid back show. So you guys be sure to check that out. And then Intellectual Petty Radio. If that's not the name of your if that's not the name of the actual show, be sure to drop it so I can let everybody know to go check you out, man. Intellectual Petty Radio. Ritvik says, but people got to be accountable for what they charged with. Prophet Mike. Mr. 40 Pitts, he says, what up, 16, the Life Support Gang and Chill. What's happening? How the universe been treating you on this lovely Saturday? Any day outside of prison and above ground is a great day, man, and I don't got no complaints. I just roll with the punches. I'm enjoying life, enjoying being free. It is what it is, man. And especially summertime is my favorite, it's my favorite season. All outside hanging, the lovely ladies come out, so it's no complaints. So Jennifer said, let's boom bap that like button. Oh yeah, most definitely. Somebody else says this message held for review. I'm gonna hit it and see what it is, man. Let me see. Oh, okay. Show hide. So we're gonna hide that, yeah. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, we got a I guess a troller in the house, y'all. So I'm gonna try to get rid of this cat real quick. Oh yeah, hey, basketball is my favorite sport. Hey, listen, man, dudes be on me from time to time because I say the flow is nothing like Curtis Blow, right? And I'm not I'm not taking shots at Curtis Blow. First and foremost, I'm a rap. What do I say? I'm a rap historian, especially before I went to jail, man. So I definitely listen to Curtis Blow. I like Curtis Blow. Only thing I'm saying is, especially when I used to be locked up, right? You'd have these younger dudes coming up they always wanted to battle me, man. My name was one of the names that just, I guess, traveled, through the California penitentiary system. few other dudes whose names I always heard about. Some of them I met, some of them I didn't when it came to rapping. Of course, when it come to rapping, fighting, all that stuff, people's names. But it's a guy by the name of Big June. And so I went and checked out some of his music on YouTube, and he definitely is nice, right? So from time to time, people would come up to me and wanting to battle me, and assuming that I was older, I guess they thought that I was gonna be rapping like outdated and stuff. So that's why I just say the flow is not like Curtis Blow. It don't have nothing to do with putting down Curtis or whatever, man. No, Nomad say you can't outsee all the stuff Chill probably saw. No, most definitely, man. Ritvik says, who is your favorite MC of this era or of all time? I don't listen to a lot of rap nowadays, right? But I definitely like J. Cole. Little Baby is cool. Or no, is it Little Baby or is it no? Okay, yeah, Little Baby. I definitely like Little Baby. My favorite MC of all time, that would be hard, but some of my favorites is Jay-Z, Biggie, Scarface, Ice Cube, Jadakiss. It's so many, it's so many, man. The dude Mozzie, to me, Mozzie don't get a whole lot of propers like he should, man. Mozzie is, I don't think I never heard a whack song from Mozzie. And I remember around 2016, 2017, when I went to the 2 yard, a lot of dudes were saying, "Hey, man, you want to, you want to listen to this Mozzie? You want to check Mozzie out?" And I was like, "Oh no, man, I'm cool." That was the first time I'd ever heard of Mozzie, and and um, and so once I finally listened to him, I was definitely surprised, man. Intellectual Petty Radio says Boosie is his own worst enemy. Yeah, I definitely would agree, man. Sometimes, man, dudes got to be smarter, man. They got to stay out the way. They got to stay out the way, man. And I definitely know. It's his situation now is nothing like it was 2 weeks ago. He's definitely probably regretting it. The dude wasn't in jail probably 2-3 days, and he's sending an apology letter to his kids. And so I say all that to say, appreciate what you got when you got it. Don't put yourself in those positions. Sleeping on that hard mattress ain't nothing like that probably nice soft bed he had up in his house and stuff. So yeah, he did it to himself, man. He did it to himself. Sometimes you just gotta stay out the way. And then too, what I hate is a old ignorant dude, right? I mean, now I don't think Bootsy knew YN Melly or whatever the dude's name is. So for the most part, keep your comments to yourself, because you supporting YN Melly or whatever the brother's name is, but you got to keep in mind it's also two other people that's dead. They got families and this and that. So whatever you got to say, if it ain't positive, keep it to yourself. I mean, why would you automatically take the rapper side over the other people's side? You know what I'm saying? It's just, to me, it's crazy. You're not being mindful of the victims' families and stuff like that. So yeah, he talked his way into prison and messed up, man. Ritvik says, do the feds go by anything in the state that the charge occurred in? Oh, not trying to blow your chat up, OG. Just the information is valuable. Well, I'm not. He says, do the feds go by anything in the state that the charge occurred in? I'm not a whole lot knowledgeable on federal laws and stuff like that, because I've never did any fed time. So I don't necessarily think they go by. Charges from the state. It's just certain crimes that are federal crimes, and when you commit a federal crime, that's when the feds have the right to come in and charge you and stuff. So like pimping and pandering, transporting women across state line, that's a federal charge. So stuff like that, that's when the feds can come in, and sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. If you got a extreme violent past, or you got an extreme criminal history, then sometimes they may come in, and that may dictate whether they come in or not, because they're not obligated to come in, and sometimes they do though. So it all depends. I believe Boosie, if because I've never really bumped any of Boosie music. I never really liked him too much. His voice kind of just wasn't I've never been a big Boosie fan, but I believe he had been charged with 3 or 4 murders or something like that, a couple murders that he had done some time for. So when you got when you got an extensive criminal history and you do something like that, sometimes the feds will come in. But now I've heard of dudes who had done life and got out being caught with guns and stuff, and the feds didn't come in. So I don't know what dictates whether they take the case or not. David Miller says, 16, do you still live in Bannon? Oh no, I'm no longer in Bannon, man. Um, Zahir Turner says, what about Tory Lanez? Is he facing time in LA? Well, he's not necessarily facing time in LA. He's facing time in California, period. The California Department of Corrections system. And it's crazy that you bring him up, right? Because I've been having a thumbnail waiting on his ass probably about 2 or 3 months, man. And listen, let me tell you, right? I don't wish prison and stuff on nobody, but Tory Lanez he's reaching for straws. He has got another He's got another postponement, so now he's gonna be sentenced August the 7th, I believe. I think he was supposed to be sentenced originally back in May. So once he got found guilty, he fired his lawyer, got another lawyer. Then the new lawyer tried to say that his last lawyer was basically ineffective of counsel, which is really, really, really hard to it's hard to get back on that because you know the requirements of your lawyer is extremely low. He just basically has to do the bare minimum. Unless he falls asleep or something extremely blatant, it's hard to get back on ineffective counsel. You can't say, oh well, he only questioned 4 witnesses and I believe he should have bought 7, or you can't question his legal. You can't get back on questioning his legal strategy or what he did or he didn't do. It has to be something extreme. And so, that his new lawyer tried to say, his last lawyer was ineffective. That didn't work. Then they filed some motions, tried to get a new trial. That didn't work. Then they tried to disqualify the judge. That didn't work. So the dude is basically, reaching for straws, man. And his ass is on his way. He's on his way. And he doesn't realize at this point that going to prison is better than sitting in that county jail. Now I don't know if they got him I'm assuming that he might be in high powered walk along or something like that. But it's definitely, you definitely have a little bit more freedom and more things to do in prison. And I'm gonna be honest right now, man. Prison is soft as hell. California prison is soft as hell in terms of all the stuff they have. They got tablets now, free phone calls. They give you a tablet. You can have the tablet in your cell and you can call your people from the tablet for free. So you can call basically all day long, as opposed to when I came, you had to sign up for the phone call. Your people had to have money on the books. The yard might be locked down, so you couldn't call. You might go, sometimes you might go 5-6 months without a phone call. Now they got tablets, they got games they can play on the tablets, they can watch movies on the tablets and all stuff like that. So, you can call your baby mama, at 9 or 10 at night, see who she in the bed with and all this type of stuff. So doing time, they got family visits for everybody now. When I was in prison, lifers didn't get family visits. Now, if I was in there getting family visits, man, that would have made things a whole lot easier to do. And then somebody asked me earlier too, how do the youngsters take doing time in prison? And honestly, it's just on that individual. I happen to be blessed with an extremely laid back personality. I don't worry much about stuff. So it just all depends. Some people stress. I remember this one dude, man, his name was Point Blank. I wasn't gonna put his name out there, but I did. This dude's name was Point Blank. Like I guess, he walk up and shoot people from point blank range. He accidentally shot his girlfriend, and this dude was facing 7 years, and he was in the cell crying. His cellie was from LA, and his cellie was in there facing life and ended up getting life, and told him, man, shut the hell up. I don't want to hear that stuff. So it just all depends on the individual. It all depends on the individual. Oh, okay. Here somebody says, I remember man, Quentin, you mentioned, New York. He's out now. He's part of a big podcast, Ear Hustle. Yeah, man, I hollered at New York a time or two. I told him I want to interview him, and he said, yeah, he tap in with me. But it's a trip, man. How sometimes you have certain dudes, man. They'll be real. close in prison are pretty cool, man, and they get out, man, and act like they don't know you or whatever, you know. Then he also was a little because I told him I wanted to do a story on, you know, this episode. I'll just say a violent episode he got caught up in, and he was like, oh well, you know, I'm kind of on parole right now, and so I can understand, you know, I can understand the dude, you know, getting out of prison and not necessarily wanting to do anything to you know, risk his freedom, but at the same time, anything a person done in jail 15, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, they not coming to get you. They're not coming to get you on that or tripping on that. But I definitely understand a person being you know, being apprehensive about it or whatever, you know, because you definitely don't want to lose your freedom, man. Rick Vic says, "What car do you run with in the yard when you're not black Hispanic, but you're Asian? So you run with the Asian slash Islander car, man. And you know what? I just did an interview with an Asian dude. I just gotta edit it. I gotta edit it, and I'm gonna have it up, man. My first interview with this Asian dude, real cool dude. And so yeah, he actually answers that question and stuff. So I'm gonna get that up pretty soon, man." And somebody says, "What do you think about Tory Lane's situation facing time in L.A.?" And I just spoke on that a little bit, you know. And to me, I wasn't there when you know, whatever happened. But I do say this, right? If in fact he did shoot a black woman, a woman, period, you know, the dude is soft for that. You know what I'm saying? I just grew up in an era, man, where, you know, we respected women. Women was off limits, and you know, whether young, old, or whatever, you know. And so if he did do it, in which I think he did, you know, but like I say, I wasn't there. So what does my opinion matter? You know, because the reason I really think he did it, because they have him recording. They have him recorded from the L.A. County Jail, calling the next day, trying to apologize and saying he'd pay her money and this and that. And so, you know, I ain't never apologized for something that I didn't do. You know what I'm saying? And so, to me, it makes no sense. You know, you have a lot of people trying to defend the dude's actions and or whatever, or you know, harassing the Megan Thee Stallion. And like I said, I wasn't there, but if he did do it, man, you know, I personally got no respect for the dude. You know, and I definitely ain't gonna lose no sleep. You know what I'm saying? Over a person shooting a woman, harming a woman, you know. Any time, you know, only time a person I think should shoot a woman if she has a gun on you and she's posing a threat to you. You know, other than that, you know, to me, I just, you know, that's something that you know, that's something that I don't respect, right? But I will say that, you know, the generations have definitely changed, of course, since I grew up. And, you know, a lot of things that was off limits when I was in the streets, it's free game right now. And so that's, you know, that's what's going on. And if you was raised in a certain generation where something is free game, you know what I mean, you know, you're gonna be doing what they was doing. So, you know what I'm saying, if I was raised in a generation where, you know, something was good and I'm trying to fit in, I would probably be doing it too. So, you know, but that's one good thing that you realize when you get old, man, when you start, you know, disagreeing with certain things that's happening in organizations that you were a part of, or that you had once, you know, contributed to that lifestyle or whatever. QPTV, what's cracking, man? He says, hope all is well. Keep going. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it, man. Mike Mook said, "What you think about Fleece Johnson's new interview?" You know what? I haven't seen it, right? But it's crazy because the other day I was thinking about just doing I seen an older Fleece Johnson interview, and I was thinking about doing a reaction to it. I don't know if you guys remember, about a year and a half, 2 years ago, I had started doing some reactions, and a person that hooked my computer up, right, with this program called OBS, and then he just messed around and went underground. You know, I guess life was giving him boop bop boop bop. Life was hitting him with some lefts and some rights, and he just disappeared and stuff, you know. And so anyway, he has resurfaced. The mole has hopped out of his hole. And so I talked to him, because I've been having some problems with my OBS, trying to get it fixed. And I went to the Geek Squad and all that old type of crap, and they was giving me the runaround. But I talked to him the other day, and he was telling me that everything they was telling me was inaccurate. So anyway, long story short, I'm gonna slide over and check him out one day, and hopefully he can fix my OBS to where I can start doing reactions again. But I was gonna react to that, so yeah, I'll look that up, and I'll react to that, man. James E says, chill. I remember when you whooped that dude in the cell at the end. CMC East. James E. Who is James E? He says, chill. I remember when you whooped that dude in the cell at the end. CMC East. Are you? I wonder. Are you talking about, man? Are you talking about when the dude sex played me and I went in the cell and slapped him? Man, who is James E? Man, that's crazy. That has to be what you're talking about. And then my homie Money was there. You remember Money? Yeah, man. That has to be what you was talking about, man. Tacoma always trying to claim the Seattle players. Yeah, man. I don't know. Like I say, I don't know. I don't know where T Baby was from. I thought he was from Seattle, but a dude reached out and said he was from Tacoma. But anyway, somebody told me he passed away. Yeah, somebody. Mike Moose says Fox slapped her and he pulled a butcher knife. Yeah, somebody told me that she passed away too. I don't know. Did I say her real name in that thing? I think I did, man. Now I can't even think of her name. That's crazy, man. Damn, man. What was her name? That's crazy. Now I can't even think of her name. I can see her face though, cause she reminded me of what's the girl's name from Charlie Brown, man? Peppermint Patty. Patty. Yeah, she reminded me of Peppermint Patty. Stella. Her name was Stella. Yeah, that was her name. Stella. Rick James says, yeah, your music is good. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it, man. TuneCore seems good. Yeah, I think TuneCore is pretty good, man. I think I seen where this dude was talking about, even though I don't, of course, anticipate on making that much money, but he was getting about 20,000 a month off TuneCore. But anything would definitely help, especially especially just giving it away. Hey. Yeah. Big Talk 100 says, where the prison song at? I haven't released it yet, so I only have that, I only have that little snippet that I throw sometimes in my videos. And then sometimes people ask me, why do I have it on some videos and not? So when I record on my phone, I don't have it because it's on my computer. And when I record on the computer, then I edit it in, right? And sometimes why I'll record on my phone is because when I try to do a story on the computer, sometimes it takes YouTube 3 or 4 days to approve it or whatever. As opposed to when I do it on my phone, I can upload it and have it ready to go in 30 or 40 minutes. So that's why lately sometimes I've been staying away from the damn computer because it just takes too long, to get it monetized or whatever. Rithvik says, I thought YouTube gave like $10 to $20 per thousand views. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do it. It all depends. It all depends on basically what they decide to give you. I haven't quite figured out on why some videos pay higher than others, right? But they call it's your RPM, and so yeah, I think it's a Latin word for rules. It's a Latin word for rules per mile. But yeah. So whatever they set your RPM at is how much you get paid per every per every thousand views. So sometimes it's higher than others. I did a little bit of research on that, and I seen that of course, people who put out content on computers or finances, they have an extremely high RPM. Some of them dudes actually get $30 to $25 every thousand views. So, it's roughly about every 10,000 views, roughly is about $150, $120, give or take, somewhere up in there. So, for people interested in what a person may make, it's basically up in there. Basically like maybe about 125, 140, 50 every 10,000 views. Anta Hakru Payne, what's up with it, man? He says, but when you used to hustle drugs, did you ever feel bad looking at somebody looking rough? Yeah, from time to time, I did, right? Um, yeah, from time to time I did, and I don't necessarily think this dude was on drugs. Remember, I told you guys a story about a dude named Larry, a white dude in Montana. This dude definitely was not in his right mind. Matter of fact, I believe he went crazy when he was supposed to get married. He used to be the postmaster general, according to people up there before I got up there. And his wife ran off and left him at the altar, and he flipped out and went crazy or whatever. And one day I seen him in the arcade bar eating stuff off the floor. And so, yeah, I went across the street and got him some stuff to eat. He was eating, somebody drops a piece of chicken on the floor, and that arcade bar was so nasty. But yeah, of course, it was certain times, matter of fact, when I was selling drugs in the hood, when when women would come through and we knew that she had kids, we wouldn't sell them no drugs, because what happened back then, a lot of women would get their food stamps, and like say if you get $400 worth of food stamps, they go sell them for $200 worth of cash. And so we had a rule that we wouldn't sell them no drugs. But then again, to keep it 100, they would just go find somebody else that would sell them. Everybody's not necessarily gonna have them ethics or morals, or somebody that's supposed to have them ethics and morals may sell them drugs when ain't nobody around. You know what I'm saying? Some people feel like in the keep it 100 shit, I sold my own first cousin's drugs, right? Because man, if I don't sell it to them, they gonna go buy it from somebody else, right? So I might as well get the bread. That's how I was looking at it then. So yeah. But when you're young, you're immature, you're selfish. Sometimes we don't consider all that stuff. Ritvik says, "We want you to stay home, OG. You help people. You help people. Us all. You help people. Us all, OG." I don't quite understand what you're saying, Ritvik. He says, "We want you to stay home, OG." What you mean, like stay free? David Miller says, "Your raps are fire. I like that. Sorry, Mr. White Man. Ratchet and a couple other bangers you got." Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. I need to start putting out more music, and that's definitely the plan, man. Uh, Closure Gang says, "Love that intro. Thank you, I appreciate it." And Mike Contreras says, "I'm brown and proud, and I love your music, 16 to life. Much love." Hey, thank you, I appreciate it, Mike. And Mike, I definitely understand what you're saying, but I think it's sad that sometimes, we have to, I'll see people on my page saying, "Man, I'm Hispanic and I like your music." I'll sometimes see people on Dub's page saying, "Hey, I'm black. I like your stories." And it's sad that, man, that we have to do that, or people feel that that we're so separated that we have to make it a point to say, "Hey, yeah, man, I'm black, man, and I listen to Dub." It should, we men are one thing I learned about going to prison, right? Because I think we all grew up with a lot of like untrue stereotypical images of other races or whatever. And in prison I learned that men are men. Some things I thought about Hispanics, some things I thought about whites were not true. We all are just people. So everybody. It shouldn't be no surprise that Dub has black listeners. Because some of the things Dub says make sense to anybody, regardless of color, and that's all I'm trying to say. And so let me ask you guys this, right? What you guys think about Donald Trump Jr.? That's what I was going. I was thinking about making a video on that, right? And to be honest, he said some stuff that I wouldn't necessarily paint the dude as a racist just for what he said, right? He said something about there's too many black people living in Harlem, or excuse me, no, he said too many black people in Manhattan. He said Manhattan is starting to look like Harlem, and he can hear the theme of the Jefferson music. Now, when I heard that he had said that, right, to me I laughed, because to me, I'm a jokester, right? And to keep it 100, sometimes we say things, but that don't mean that just because he said it, that don't mean that he is, and it don't mean that he ain't a racist. Because to keep it 100, those are some of the things that we say among friends. I think we all say things that are stereotypical of other races in a clowning, funny type of way. Sometimes, among friends, whether they really mean it or not. Now, I remember I had an Asian friend, right? And we used to joke all the time, me and him. I'd make jokes about Asians, he'd make jokes about black people and chicken and watermelon, just stereotypical jokes. It was all in fun. So, I just sometimes, and I know I've said things that if other people would hear it, they would say, "Oh man, Chill's a racist." But sometimes, we just laugh, we joke, we clown, so I don't know. I don't know if that paints him as a racist. Just like too, I remember one time, basically on me where I grew up at, anything other than death, somebody was gonna laugh and joke about it, right? I remember one time I had two homies, Reese and Johnny, and I remember Reese got shot. He got shot in the leg, and so Johnny came up to the hospital. Johnny was older by about a year. Johnny came up to the hospital crying, "Oh, who shot my brother? Who shot you? Who shot you? Who shot my brother?" So a day or two later, we was clowning Johnny for that. Motherfuckers, you come up to the hospital crying and stuff. Shut your soft ass, get your dumb ass up out of here. Because what happened was the homies was out there in the park actually, and some dude came through trying to buy some drugs or trying to rob people. So one of the homies started shooting, and just so happened Reese was on the other side of the car and got shot in the leg. So actually the homie accidentally shot him in the leg. But I've seen many instances where something happened, and once we realize the dude ain't gonna die, people is laughing and clowning and stuff. Just like I told you guys a story about my cousin Chris Booty. I think the name of the story was a ride he didn't ask for or something, or when he grabbed the window of this lady trying to buy some drugs and she ran him up the street and drug him, he fell and skint off half his chest. People was laughing about that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes we may laugh at things that some people feel is inappropriate or whatever, but I don't necessarily know if that makes a person a racist because he says so many blacks up in Manhattan, he can hear the Jefferson theme music. Like I said, to me that was kind of funny. So I don't know, man. What y'all think about that? Is the guy racist or what? Now I definitely believe. Now, well, let me fix that. I definitely believe that Donald Trump, the pops, has is definitely racist to a certain degree, right? And he probably just masked it well, But I'm just saying, just a person saying that alone, I don't think makes them racist, But now, I don't know. But what do you guys think? Somebody says Chill has a gift for being an interview host, and you know what I think? 187. Matter of fact, that's gets 187. I think you're right, 187. But you know what I think makes me a good interviewer? Just basically being extremely curious, because that's I don't, the majority of the time I don't prepare a whole lot of questions. When a person is the hardest thing for me that I had to learn about being an interviewer was to be quiet and let a person finish what they're saying, and because when a person says something interesting, well, I want to know, well, damn, what happened, so it's just a natural curiosity, and so a lot of people say, damn, Chill, you asked all the questions that I wanted to know. And so I think that's what it is, just being intrigued, because even though I've done a whole bunch of time, I'm still intrigued by other people who went to prison, other people who've lived in the streets and stuff like that. And so I think that a lot of times, my questions come from a natural curiosity or whatever like that. But I definitely appreciate the comment though. Mr. 40 Pitt says, chill quick. After doing 24 calendars, is there any program that you feel will help inmates that you would invest in or try to get past to help better to transition? Oh, most definitely, man. Most definitely, right? And a couple of programs I think really helped me. Anger management, right? Because before I took that class, I didn't think I had any anger issues, right? And so, because I was real laid back, I thought, and but also another class was criminal thinking. That was another class, right? That helped me. But the sad part about those two classes, and any class, a person is not gonna. Those classes can't help a person unless he's willing to, basically, let me see how I should put this. Unless he has to be open-minded, basically, right? He has to be open-minded, because for as long as a person like me, initially I went in there thinking, oh, these people can't tell me nothing. They can't tell me about myself, right? But a lot of those self-help classes are basically just, they give you different type of avenues to handle stuff, right? So let me give you guys a quick scenario. Back in the day, right, it might be some people up the street gambling, hanging out, selling dope or whatever. So my mind frame was, man, I'm not fist to go the other way to avoid these people. I'm going to take a pistol with me. And if they start tripping, I'm going to do my thing. Now, today, my mindset is if these people is at a corner selling dope and doing this and that, I'm gonna go the other way. There's no need for me to even walk past to even subject myself to potentially getting in trouble or whatever. Because let's keep it real. If you in the hood, if you Hispanic, if you black, and you got a gun and you do something, 9 times out of 10, they're not gonna see that you was defending yourself, right? Due to the fact that you just black and you in the hood, right? And California don't have a self defense. They don't have a self defense law on the books. They have a justifiable homicide, right? But like I said, being black or Hispanic, being in the hood, it's gonna be kind of hard to get the leniency that a person may get if he happens to be in Florida and they fall up under the stand the ground rule. So it's just a lot of it's a lot of those things like criminal thinking, right? I still use that today. If I happen to do something, you have to think what what is going to be the end result. They would call it taking your thoughts to court. So yeah, if I walk past this person right here, and not to say because I've never was no thief, but I'm just using this as an example. I used to sell dope and gangbang, right? But if I walk past this person and snatch this person's wallet, what would be the worst case scenario? The worst case scenario is it's cameras everywhere. It might be some fast white boy, just like the white dude that ran. Remember, I told you guys the story. The fast white dude ran Mr. Lou down and called him and said, "I'm the fastest white boy in Riverside." Remember, Mr. Lou was the dude he was the first dude to be charged with 3 strikes in Riverside County. He stole some panties out of some type of store for his daughter, a little 5 or 6 year old daughter or granddaughter or whatever it was. And he took off running once he saw that they had realized what he'd done. And just so happened, the fastest white boy in Riverside was working to that store. So when he was chasing Mr. Lou down, he said, you ain't gonna get away. I'm the fastest white boy in Riverside. So what would be the worst case scenario if you committed a crime? You'd be back in prison. So is stealing this candy bar or snatching this lady's purse potentially worth going back to prison for the next 7 to 10 years or whatever that charge may carry? And so it's about being able to put those things in practice, right? I've seen many people take those courses just to get the certificate, because by being a lifer, when you went to the parole board, they wanted to see what type of self-help that you took, right? And some people thought it was just enough of taking the class. But no, not only do you have to take the class, you have to be able to incorporate some of that into your daily thinking process and be able to verbalize it and say how you would use it if a situation called on for you to use it. So like I say all that to say, you had a lot of people, they were just chrono chasers, because they would give you a chrono for completing the class. But if you can't tell them anything about the class, then you was wasting your time. So I definitely think that criminal thinking, also conflict resolution, because when I shot that party up, right? I shot the party up, and that's how I first went on the run. It's not really what happened at that party that made me shoot the party up. It's the mindset that I took long before I even went to that party. That, okay, I got this gun. If a dude do A, B, and C, my response is going to be D, E, and F. So see, it's the mindset that we take before we even get in these certain situations. Like if I go out here and I play basketball and somebody call me a bitch, I'm just to bust him in his mouth. I've already adapted a mind state. And so when a dude calls me a bitch, if I'm serious, then I naturally punch this dude in the face. But you also could take the mindset of, if a dude says something disrespectful, I'ma just walk away. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, a lot of that stuff is helpful, but it's at the end of the day, it's up to the person who's taking the classes to do more than just a surface recovery. You have to really take that stuff deep down and try to make that stuff work for you if you are serious about staying free. You know what I'm saying? Because to be honest, I don't have the liberty or the luxury to go to Walmart and get into it over a slice of bread and slap somebody. With my criminal history, slapping somebody, that could get me a 3rd strike. I can come back to prison for shit, the next 45, 50 years, a 45 or 50 year to life sentence. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely have to incorporate some of the things I learned in order to try to stay out of trouble. Rithvik says, I didn't even know you was going live, man. I didn't know I was going live either. And you know what I think would be best? If I start setting some designated times and announcing that, that way I can go live and everybody know that I'm going live, and I can possibly have more people, you know. Larry Lopez, what's going on, man? Unique one, 408. Ritvik says, I wish more people would just catch a fair one. It seems like people growing up, everybody trying to get credit in their local area. Yeah, and that's true, man. That's true, you know. Yeah, Bull didn't want to get demoed on, Larry. He didn't want to be laid out sleep like Cisco was. Oh yeah, I definitely dropped a few stories this week, man, and for some reason, uh, everybody's not getting notified. But you know, it's something that I definitely see that's going on with all the YouTube pages. Like shout out to Jay Williams, man. Jay Williams is a great storyteller. I believe he's out of Virginia too. And maybe about 2 or 3 months ago, 4 months ago, Jay Williams was probably getting, 200,000 views, per story that he told. Now I see that sometimes he gets 25,000, 40,000, which is still good numbers, but it's not the type of numbers that he was just getting. So all those people haven't just suddenly stopped watching his stuff. So somebody told me that YouTube has some type of lawsuit or whatever, but for whatever reason, they are definitely controlling or putting a limitation on notifications and how much visibility a person's video gets or whatever. And it's several it's several channels that are their views are not what they used to be. And at first I thought it was only people in the prison genre, but it's a lot of different channels. Once I started researching and looking into it, it's a lot of different channels that's complaining about the views. I guess YouTube has came up with some new rules and this and that, and so we'll see. It's another channel, man, a lady by the name of what's her name, man? Rajiva the Ruler. Rajiva the Ruler. Maybe about 3 or 4 months ago, 2, 3 months ago, she was getting same thing, 100,000 views, 90,000 views, 150,000 views. Now sometimes she gets 3, 4,000 views. That's all. So there's definitely something going on, man. But Kenneth Robinson says, my brother, you are a cool out cat. We all is a rider of you, and we love you and very proud of what you have been up to since you've been back home. Keep it up, cuz. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Definitely, I appreciate it, man. ABCDFGP says, I turned so many people on to your music. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. And so, like I was saying earlier, it's due to people like you and Joe Jennifer that definitely, honestly, inspire me, man, to want to keep making music. Because there was a time in prison I had stopped rapping because, I just felt like, dang, I'm gonna be in prison forever. I don't want to be or want to try to be the best rapper on the yard. After a while, that stuff got old, and so I had lost my passion for it. And so now that I'm out, I definitely need to get back on it and stay with it. So yeah, I appreciate it, man. Somebody says Curtis Blow is coming with some heat. See, I heard Curtis Blow got a new concert out or something. My buddy was telling me, man. 850 Homeboy said, this is my first time catching you live, bro. You along with Banky Pound deterred me from a road that I was contemplating on taking. Well, listen, 850 Homeboy, hey, I appreciate it. And like I've been telling everybody, I will definitely try to start going live a lot more, man. And you definitely was right, man, to change your mind, because I'll be the first to tell you that going to prison is not worth it, man. There is not anything that you can accomplish in prison that you cannot accomplish on the street, man. Being in prison is an extreme waste of time, man. I spent basically all my 20s, all my 30s, and a good portion of my 40s in prison, And so yeah, man, it's best to try to your hardest to do the right thing. And one thing I noticed when I came home, right, is a lot of these people out here are so disrespectful, right? They're so disrespectful. The culture has changed. It's like it's almost cool to be disrespectful. And then you do something to somebody, and then they run and tell the police, or they call the cops or whatever, and now you're in a legal predicament, So yeah, it's always best just to try to take the high road and walk away, even walk away if you have to, because Sitting up in a jail cell is definitely not worth it. Like we was talking about Boosie, the rapper Boosie, the other a few minutes back. Now I'm sure he's definitely regretting whatever he did to get himself incarcerated. Especially it. You don't even have to be a rich person or a millionaire to enjoy your freedom. A homeless person, I'm sure, enjoys his freedom just as much as a millionaire. So once you have your freedom removed from you, it's definitely horrible. You know what I'm saying? Matthew Mayfield, what's going on, man? First time in the live. Hey, I appreciate it, Matthew. Like I say, I'm gonna definitely start trying to go live more often, man. Pierre Bolden Jr., what's going on? Why don't you turn your stories that you do on YouTube into a movie, 16? The life movie would be hard. Well, I would like to do that, but of course, we gotta have the right connections. I don't necessarily, um, have the connections to movie studios and stuff like that, man. So yeah. Ritvik says weightlifting seems like a vanity-driven sport, and I would kind of agree to you to a certain to a I would kind of agree to a certain degree, right? But I think for me personally, I don't like I've always been a person who plays sports, athletic. I don't like gaining weight. I don't like my stomach poking all out of my shirt. I don't like being, to me, a certain weight does not look good on me. I don't like my face getting all fat. And so, of course, a person definitely, I feel, you get more compliments, you get more stares from the women when you're a certain size. And so, yeah, it definitely can be a vanity driven sport. But at the same time, um, I like to be a certain size. I like to be in shape and stuff like that. So, yeah, it just all depends on the person, man. No, I don't know. Damn, I'm holding the phone down so low. My bad. Chill in the music. 60 subs, bro. I've been on your YouTube my whole life with 200 subs. 60 subs, bro. I've been on YouTube my whole life with 200 subs. I couldn't quite understand that. Oh yeah, thanks, Seth. And like I say, I'm gonna try to, cause at one point in time, I did used to do lives kind of regularly. I just, like I say, I've kind of got away from it, but I'm gonna definitely go back to it, man. Oh, Raquel Smith says we can't see your face. Yeah, my bad. I'm holding the camera down too low. Oh, you know what I was thinking about doing, right? I'm gonna start trying to interview just regular people out there on the street that may be caught up in certain situations, maybe gang bangers, mainly homeless people, or whatever. I'm gonna see how that turns out. Possibly just interviewing some interesting people or people who I tend to think is interesting. I'm gonna slide back to Vegas pretty soon. Me and my camera guy, and try to get a little recording, getting some content out there. Talking to the people. We gonna see if what happens in Vegas actually stays in Vegas. 415 said Revolution was a banger. Thank you, I appreciate it. No, I think what Raquel was saying is when I'm holding the phone like this, I'm trying to look at the comments, and so I don't have the phone all the way down. So I just need to put the camera like this. I left my reading glasses when I was in Vegas. I left them out there. Nomad said, make me want to mash out the Billings. Billings has changed, though. I've been out there a couple of times since I've been free. It's nothing like it used to be. It's kind of boring. They got a club called the Wild West, and it's definitely wild. A lot of shootouts and fights every time I'm there, you know. So Sergio Morphin says, got sentenced to 12 in the feds in California, turned myself. Oh, my God. Sergio Morphin said, got sentenced to 12 years in the feds in California, and he has to turn himself in tomorrow. Any advice? Yeah, man. Well, Sergio, prison period is about respect, right? So just go in there, be respectful, be yourself. I've never done any fed time, but time is time. The feds I think operate a little bit different in terms of the cars. But basically, um, just be yourself, man. Don't Don't try to over impress anybody. Don't talk a lot when you first get there. I mean, I'm not saying don't talk a lot. I'm saying don't talk excessively trying to impress people. Just observe. You have to be, you have to be observant, because we got to keep in mind people are in prison due to character flaws. And so you have to just sometimes, sometimes people may introduce themselves, or sometimes have ulterior motives, so you just got to keep your eye open, stay alert, be respectful, and you'll be all right. In prison, whether it's the feds or state prison, I would say about 75 to 80% of trouble a person gets into is self-induced in prison. Gambling. And listen, of course, I don't gamble in prison, because you have, well, yeah, I'm going to say, well, maybe not the feds, but any prison, because you still have people that's out there trying to hustle, trying to win, that may not have intentions on paying. Definitely don't gamble if you don't have the money. Try not to get into debt. That's extremely bad. Hopefully you'll stay away from the drugs and stuff like that. The good thing about the feds is they're a little bit more known for people having money, because they have better paying jobs in the state. So sometimes you got people in the state that's greedy, and that's being tricky or deceitful and stuff. It's just pay attention, man, and you should be all right. Don't get into no debts, drugs. Stay away from gambling, especially if you don't have the money, and you'll be all right. Yeah, Corey. The blacks out there now is they don't people don't hang out like they used to, and so yeah, you probably would have to know somebody, or maybe go. You're always gonna find some people at Walmart, or the Wild West Club, But yeah, it's definitely not what it used to be. Matthew Mayfield says, chill. How long have you been rapping? Man, I've been rapping. I would say probably since 82, 83, when I was maybe about 12, 13. So a long time. Um, the Message is the song that made me want to start rapping, man. Me and a friend of mine by the name of Marcellus. Marcellus eventually uh, was moved to a group home. He was living with his grandma, and his grandma, he was getting too wild for her, and he was only about 12 or 13, and he moved to a group home, and on the way to school, he was riding a bike with somebody, and the dude that he was riding a bike with hit him upside the head with a rock and killed him, man. And yeah, but so maybe about 12, 13, man. Big Talk 100 says, chill is the dopest person on YouTube. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it, man. No Way Jose says, recently subscribed to the channel. Big ups, 16 to life. Hey, I appreciate it. He says, big ups to everybody in the community. Damu Robinson's Little Crip. Yeah, just hollered at the young homie, chill. He in Corcoran trying to get out. Oh, on the juvenile law. So damn, he's still locked up. Cause let me see, that was 96. That was 96 when me and him first hit Salinas. So 96, 2006, 2016. That's 20 years. 2020 is 24. And what is it now? It's 23. So he been in there like, damn, he been in there what? 27 years. Yeah, that's crazy. See, but more than likely, Little Crip been in there, into some he been in there fucking up and getting caught up in stuff, man, because he definitely could have been out by now. But it's hard to go in prison sometimes and stay out of stay out of the way, man. Daniel Cooper, Ty Walton, hey, good evening. How you doing? Dallas Fluff. I'm just scrolling through. Simon Chavez, your content inspired. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Oh, from Idaho. He says, big saludos from Caldwell, Idaho. Rithvik says, Cash App is your preferred pay. Oh, yeah, most definitely, because when people send super chats on YouTube, even though I extremely appreciate those, YouTube takes a percentage. So if I got something sent on Cash App, if I got something sent on Cash App, of course I'd get it all. My Cash App is $chill 700. That's $CHILL 700 700. Then of course my name would pop up, Eric Willis. Oh, Patro Thurman says, would you ever do a no jumper interview? Oh, most definitely, man, most definitely. Seth said he's not seeing all our messages. Well, I'm probably just scrolling real slow. Did you say the guys from India who did your animations? Yeah, India or somewhere over there. But yeah, definitely Middle Eastern. It's a prescription medicine for. Oh, okay. I got insomnia. I've been trying to smoke trees. Good evening. Seafood Dane, what's going on, man? What up, Chill? C-Tan, what's going on? Big Threat, what's up with it? Corey Finney, what's going on, man? How you doing? QP. Smoke Blower, hey, how you doing, man? Kevin Foley. Gino, what's going on? Seth Collins, Mr. 512. Dallas Fluff, how you doing? C-Tan. Chill, have you ever thought about writing your story in a book? Initially, when I started off doing YouTube, yeah, I had thought about it, and I actually started writing a book. Then I got to thinking about, it, because I would want to give you guys everything, right? Then I thought it might be a little disrespectful to the family of my victims, and so I kind of just scaled back that idea, man. Have you had any interactions with anyone from Detroit? Oh yeah, most definitely, man. I knew a few people from Detroit. I had a good partner by the name of Slim, Detroit Slim, and I was just trying to look him up the other day. I had seen about 3 or 4 months ago because I think he done about 27, 28 years, maybe a little longer than that. I'd seen that he had got released. So, initially I seen he had been found suitable, which means he went to the board. They gave him a parole date. And then the last time I looked it up, I couldn't find his name, which means he's got released, but I don't know where he's at. But yeah, I knew a few people from Detroit. Driller, what's going on? Big June from San Diego? Yeah, man. Big June was hard. I would always hear his name mentioned as one of the better rappers in prison. So I see, dang, that I'm real behind on these. I'm real behind on these comments. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm real behind, man. So anyway, y'all, I'm gonna tune out, man. I've been on here about damn near 2 hours. Actually, I'm gonna let y'all go so I can hop back on this music. I'm trying to come up with some new songs so I can drop a new mixtape or something real quick, man. Dallas Fluff says, "Chill, I feel what you're saying, but you can't tell the voice of the hood to keep quiet." Who is the voice of the hood? Is that what Boosie call itself? What they call Boosie? Well, certain things that a person says, man, you have to have some tact about it. You can't just be, uh, some things, person can't involve himself in everything, man. Especially, you want to support a dude that's accused of killing 2 or 3 people, but you got to keep in mind those 2 or 3 people that got killed, they got families out there too, and so sometimes those roads are just hard to walk down. Oh yeah, see, I see I'm way far behind on the comments, man. So my apologies to everybody, man. Hopefully, uh, I'll get around next time to seeing the comments more quicker. I made the screen real big so I can see the comments and I only seeing like half the comments or something. I don't know. So maybe I'll figure out how to do it on my computer or by the next time get me some reading glasses. Oh yeah, see I see somebody saying That's crazy, shooting a female as a man. So yeah, I'm way behind because I was talking about that a long time ago. But anyway, y'all, hey, thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for tapping in. I'll definitely be going live again soon. Maybe I'll try to get me a schedule to where I'm going live so everybody knows what time I'm gonna go live. So that way I can have more people who will know about it beforehand. But like I said, right now my schedules are just so hectic. Shit, I don't even really know, what I'm gonna be doing. Like I said, I try to get my little workout in twice a day, hit the studio, make some YouTube stuff, and then outside of that, just day to day living. Period. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's a little difficult, but I appreciate everybody for tapping in, man. Y'all stay safe. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers that's in the chat. You already know what it is. It's your boy 16 to life. Resume normal program.